Hey, what's going on YouTube? Nathan Olson here from YourCharisma.com, helping you create your brand your way. On this channel, we do a lot of social media marketing help as well as Instagram tips. So if you have not already subscribed, please subscribe. Today, we're going to be talking about how to use paid promotions in order to increase traffic to your website, social links, or your product pages. Coming up. Alright guys, welcome back. So when we're talking about paid promotions and when you're specifically reaching out to influencers, a really great way to utilize their power of audience with minimal financial revenue or value that you can give them is if you have a product that has a specific value, it's good to reach out to the influencer. And this is something that I do personally. I like to reach out to an influencer, get a quote on their budget of what they do for promotional posts, bio links, story changes, bio change, whatever it may be, whatever the promotional services that they provide, I get a quote on that. And what I do is I essentially try to create a package that allows them to get a free product from me in exchange for their services for free. So it's this exchange of goods and services where there's no transfer of money, but instead physical product for services that the influencer can provide. So for example, my product is $150 and I'm trying to get services from an influencer who's around 100K and he sells 24-hour posts for around $30 and a story shout out for $15 and a bio link for $5. So what I try to do is create a monthly package, say, hey, I'll give you this product for free. It's first of its kind. It's $150. You'd be first in your niche to have a product like this. You could rep it however you want. It's $150. I would like to get, let's say, 3 24-hour posts, 2 story shoutouts, and a bio link change for all 3 or all 5. And that might be something he would agree to, it might not be. So it's this repartee that you create this discussion between what the value of your product is and what the need of the influencers is. Does he want your product? If not, do you have any way to compensate him? Could you possibly exchange for a shout out from them, or you could give them a shout out? You could give them your product a shout out and maybe some financial. They could earn 10% commissions on any sales or any leads that are generated from their traffic source. You could give them, so this is an interesting thing that a lot of people do. I've done this before, is you use an influencer for a specific day and you give them a flat rate for all the audience members that they would be generating to your landing page. You create a specific landing page for the influencer and you just generate how many people have actually showed up to the page, which means they've clicked through his specific link, and you just tally it up. So for example, if 1,000 people visit, you say that you had a base rate of about 10 cents, you'd pay them $100, something like that. So that's just if an open idea, if you have a small amount of revenue and you want to pay the influencer what the value of the traffic he brings to you is, that's an example that you can use. But I think the best way is to promote your product and really sell them on the idea, because if you believe in your product, you should certainly be able to get others to believe in your product, and exchanging that value for services is a great way to not only reduce the financial impact on yourself, but to also spread your brand, because the influencer could give you a review, a testimonial, could really like your product and want to be a part of it, help grow your brand. So networking is a huge part of promotional advertisements. Don't just think of your influencers as a paid traffic source. Think of them as a possible colleague, a peer, a mentor. Just utilize them in their fullest potential. Promotional posts through influencers is a great way to really increase your traffic of niche-oriented audiences who are active and engaged. So guys, really use influencers. I cannot stress that enough. They have put a lot of hard work into creating the audiences they have created so far. It would be a waste not to use them. When it comes to paid promotions, whether using Google AdWords or Facebook ads, there's a lot of things that are in play, and there's a lot of things that you need to take into account. So going through the steps that I normally take, I try to create an outline of the audience that I want to target. So just going through, I go down to the age, the demographic. You're looking for occupation, places where you can and can't ship to. For example, if you're only a US based country, they can only ship to the US. There's no point in trying to advertise people outside of the US. So getting down on location is very like a really good way to minimize the amount of people that you're trying to target. For example, if you targeted the entire world, you'd have close to 7 or 8 billion people. When you target just Texas, you could have close to maybe 3 or 4 million. So your average audience, your entire audience, is actually reduced, and therefore your target audience is reduced. So you have a little bit of a bigger threshold of getting more individuals with your ad. And then really something that I like to look at is the content that I'm writing, as well as the content that I'm putting out there. So when it comes to a advertisement caption, it really depends on the platform. On Instagram, I'm going to be something a little bit more impersonal, just because that's the type of audience that utilizes Instagram. There's a lot of it's a very like peer-to-peer network, while with Facebook it's a little bit more business oriented. Instagram is still professional and still business oriented, but there's a larger percentage of youth that utilize Instagram compared to Facebook. So when I am on Facebook, I'm a little bit more business oriented. I try to be a little bit more formal, explain all the details, give a nice thorough top to bottom just flow. Well, with Instagram, I'm a little bit more sporadic. I like to use a little bit more onomatopoeias and be a little bit more explosive with my language in order to get the audience jazzed up and excited about what they're going to be introduced to. Also, videos, great way, great. I feel that videos are much more, give a higher conversion rate when compared to images. Images, they say there's a photo's worth 1,000 words, but I feel like a video is more succinct and gets the audience member the exact idea that you want inside their head. So with a photo, it can be interpreted in a variety of different ways, but specifically with videos, it's a little bit harder to interpret. The director or you yourself creating the commercial actually is controlling the way the image and the state of the behavior or what the message they want the audience to receive is very direct and it's very controlled. So that's a benefit. I love using videos. Specifically, I am a little bit more Google AdWords oriented. I feel that I get a little bit easier and higher conversions because Facebook ads are a little bit too saturated, but still both are great platforms for promotional posts and to utilize paid promotions in order to generate a large amount of traffic to your social links, your website, or your product pages. So that's going to wrap up this video, guys, and I hope you enjoyed.